Welcome back to this week's Mail Time Pod. The last Mail Time Pod, really, isn't it? Of like the new series, the new era kind of thing.
Oh no, Aiden, we got there. We did it all.
We did get here. We're going to be answering your guys' questions today, as well as upgrading and deleting your reviews. This is your pod. We do this one for you, the listener.
It's for the fans.
We love you so very much. We're going to be answering all sort of questions like, is Poppy Susan's mum?
I don't know.
We're going to be talking about the most underdeveloped Doctor Who companions.
Who could that be?
All sorts of juicy dangler of questions. So if you are very keen to just do have a bit of a laugh on a Monday night or Tuesday morning, depending on when you're listening, stick around. We're going to have a laugh with you.
I love it.
You can subscribe. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. Like, so close. You might be watching this and we might have 2,000 subscribers.
I think that could be a reality.
It could happen.
A reality war.
Thank you very much for that, if that is the case. And even if you're not subscribed and we have hit 2,000, you can still subscribe to us. There's no law against that.
No, there's not.
Definitely get around that one. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor and on TikTok at 50Doctor Who. Connor, hit that sting for me, baby.
1, 2, 3, 4, boom.
And we'll get into the podcast. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50%. Pop, cat. And we're back.
We are so back. Alrighty, so as always, let's start off the pod with a little segment that we like to call Upgrade or Delete.
Upgrade in progress.
Wow. So, as I said at the top of the show, this is where we get your reviews on Wishworld and we say whether we either want to upgrade them or delete them. Now, if we upgrade them, Connor, what do we say?
Yes!
And if we hate them, we despise their opinions, what do we say? Yeah, that's it. That's just me when I bloody wake up in the morning.
The power is in my hands. Let's do it.
Connor is you've had the god of wishes. This is the god of sound bites.
Yes.
Okay, so Hond Tangled says, I was so excited for this episode. Now I'm worried for how the finale will turn out. Still have trauma from Empire of Death.
Yes,
I agree.
Yeah, great way of putting it.
I agree a lot.
Definitely.
I kind of cropped off who wrote this. I think it's like a Coda Ghost, possibly. 98. Ooh. Probably born the same year as you and I, Connor.
Hey!
So that's nice. Shout out to the 98ers.
Yeah, baby.
Honestly, I actually really loved it. I think as a long-term fan, it really clicked for me, and I had a blast watching it. Do I think it should have been a 3-parter with maybe a more direct continuation from a previous episode? Yeah. But in all seriousness, it works just on its own, and it's probably the first time in a while I had absolutely no idea what could be happening, and the cliffhanger felt genuinely really exciting, unlike with last season, where I felt like Ross was just being lazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't agree with everything, but I think I agree with more than I don't.
There was some good points in there.
For sure.
I do think this one has a lazier cliffhanger than Empire of Death, though.
I might say I enjoyed maybe this cliffhanger more.
Really? Than the Sutek one?
I think so, because Sutek was so obvious. With this one, at least I was a bit like, what are they going to do?
But I think
Where's Missy?
For me, it was like the Sutek one kind of made more sense for that story, and there was hints throughout the episode, Sutek.
Sure.
Whereas this one, it was just like, BT Dub's going to bring Omega back next week.
Yeah.
By the way, throw yourself off a cliff.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And also, yeah, I guess like it would have maybe helped to have a bit more of a, maybe last week a bit more of a part 1 and this be a part 2. I can understand that. I think that it was definitely pitched to be more of a part 1 in the song contest, and it was more just like an end credit scene.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded. I was thinking just to because I just needed a bit of oomph. Like just saying the word Omega leaves me going, are they actually going to do it, or is it? And we'll maybe talk about that later in the episode. But I could have done with just along with all the shots of everyone at the very end as the world's falling apart, possibly a shot in the underworld of like an Omega-like figure rising through the flames or something like that, just to make me go, oh shit, we're doing it. Like that would have been good.
Yeah, because there's no sight of him, so I am interested to see what he looks like with a new redesign. But I don't disagree with that either. I think that could have actually really helped.
Halukai Jason possibly says the episode feels like an AI was fed last season and classic Doctor Who episodes, asked to write a script, and this is what it shout out.
Am I talking to an AI?
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Did you literally say that?
Because I'd seen that
Oh,
comment.
you'd
and
seen that
I
comment,
paraphrased it,
right.
but I think
yes.
their comment spelled it out way better than I did yesterday.
Yeah,
on the
no,
podcast.
I do agree, actually. I do agree.
Scuffly. There is some funky names over on YouTube, and I don't know. I love
Yeah.
them, but I don't know how to say them.
Make your names easier. Come on.
Very promising, ... And then the last 5 minutes turned into schlock. As ever, I am worried about another RTD2 finale. I agree, like, because I was sort of watching part one in this way where I was like, oh, it's fun. Like, it's not doing things for me, but it's fun. Don't hate it. And then we got to the last, I'd say maybe like 10 minutes, and was just like, wow, it just made me so frustrated.
What
the
are we
last 10
doing,
minutes.
really, you know?
How did we get here?
How did we get here? How did we get here?
Team Sonic channel says, Sonic, gotta go fast. I liked it, but I think we should have done 3 parts showing how the witch happened. I feel like we missed an entire story.
Yeah, so the witch, they said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's referring to the Rani and stuff being this
Oh, sorry,
witchy
not
figure.
the witch, the wish.
Oh, the wish.
Like how the world started.
Could have been cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I needed a part to show that, but I do think a third part, I think it would have been great to have a part living with these characters and giving a shit about these characters.
Yeah.
And then maybe the cliffhanger is they go, oh, no, this world isn't right. And then part 2 is sort of the last 10 minutes of this episode, maybe when they like sneak onto the Rani's fortress and stuff. And then maybe there's some hints of Omega or something. And then the cliffhanger is the world falling apart. And then the reality will be a 40-minute rushed extravaganza.
Remember when Moffat used to do like prologues all the time?
Oh, bring back the prologue.
Could have been fun.
Bring
That
back
could have
the
helped
prologue.
to show the wish world coming together.
Yeah. We've got 2. I'm going to run back to back here, okay?
Okay.
JK says washed, and James Wood says lol, LMAO.
It says watched,
Washed.
and lol.
Lol.
It is feeling a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you all.
Dylan says, it's nice to know Russell enjoyed WandaVision.
Yeah, I know.
And as well as that, every other version of...
Yes.
Because WandaVision, I remember watching WandaVision and not being blown away by it purely because I'd seen that before in other shows. And I feel like that's what people are saying about this episode because they saw it in WandaVision. I'm like, WandaVision was nowhere near the first to do that either.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Ross does love WandaVision. It was absolutely fantastic.
Marvel simp. More of a Marvel simp than even you, Connor.
I do not like Marvel films. This is a blatant lie. I swear.
Adam says, thought Archie as the Rani was excellent. However, I'm frustrated that Miss Flood has been relegated to a side character. I prefer the finale was built more around the Rani than moving straight into Omega, with multiple seasons to build the mystery. Just let it breathe, RTD. Fears for big doggo vibe next week for the Omega character reveal.
Yeah, well,
I agree.
no, I do agree.
Yeah, I big time agree with that. And obviously, we don't know specifically how this Omega stuff's going to pan out yet.
Yeah.
But I think it would make more sense for Omega not to actually be in this episode. The way they've
I
teased
agree.
it, I'll be frustrated. Like the way that was sort of the cliffhanger, I'd be frustrated. But I would much prefer just a little word in the finale about Omega is stirring down there or something like that. And then maybe in season 3 or 4, we get to Omega. And let's let Rani have this episode, you know?
I agree, because there's not been enough character development for her at all. You know, so
No, I saw
next week's just gonna, or this week's just gonna be very interesting to see how they just do it all.
100%. I saw someone online say like, "Oh, this fandom is so washed. You can't please anyone because everyone has been asking for Rani and Omega to come back for years, and they brought it back, and you're still complaining."
Not like this.
And it's like, well, yeah, not like this. Like we didn't ask them at the same time, and we didn't, which is fine in its own right if they can develop them properly. The main thing is, they're not doing anything with these characters they're bringing back. So that's the big problem.
It's just a name.
Kill you.
And
It's just a name. It's just a name being said.
It is just a name.
Remember this character? Huh?
Yeah.
What do you think of this, huh?
I do worry that CGI Omega will be just like a big CGI Omega symbol or something like
We
that.
can afford it now with Disney. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it'll be like just a
Come
big
on.
floating orb.
Is that what you're
CGI,
thinking?
And it will just like have a flashing light that when it talks, it'll be
little
like,
screen.
I am Omega, the god of the Time Lords.
Fear me.
Fear me. I'm inside you now. No, you're inside me now? This is getting sexual.
Is that what he says in the Three Doctors?
No, But no, I thought you were doing the Fear Me line from the Doctor's
Fear
Wife.
me, I've killed hundreds of Time Lords.
Yeah.
Fear me, I killed them all.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
what I thought you were
repeating
going
this
for.
shit.
Yeah, I see.
Nice. There's too many Doctor Who quotes.
Yeah, Garrett.
Gareth.
Garrett says one of the
Garrett.
best first parts of a Doctor Who finale ever. Stunning visuals, great performances, and packed with twists. Archie Punjab is a fantastic Rani. I was shocked to see Rogue. Very curious about next week. Really hope it sticks to landing. They have a lot to wrap up. Yeah, Garrett, I appreciate and love that you enjoyed it, but I wasn't here for this one, baby.
Nah, I've seen much better finals in my day.
Yeah. And I as well, I was not excited when Rogue came up. I was like, why does he look like that?
Why is Rogue there? Do you think he'll be in next week? Nah.
No, but then that makes me think that next week that Shooty isn't regenerating, because surely they wouldn't bring this back. Like, if it was an emergency regeneration, surely they would just leave Rogue as like a little standalone, like the one that got away. But if they've kept this scene in, makes you think they're gonna have a reunion, which will either be in the final, or it will be in like season 3, unless Shooty does regenerate at the end of this, and like that we have a new Doc that's chasing Rogue in season 3. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, they already did pay for Jonathan Groff to do it, I guess. So
Yeah, I guess.
do you think that was part of the contract of him doing Rogue? Because I think he said that. Did you watch the Redacted? And Shooty was like, Jonathan Groff told me they made him record something for series 2 about tables. And he was like, I haven't even read that script yet.
Yeah.
Said Shooty. So
I think I
wonder if
read that it was recorded with season 1.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So, but you'd think you would just delete it and replace it with something else if you weren't going to have the actual reunion of the characters. I've got a fear that Shooty does regenerate this week and he bi-generates, and his bi-generation runs off with Rogue. That's my fear.
This is so ridiculous.
This is what are we in with this?
This is so ridiculous. If that happens, I'm actually gonna fucking cry.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'll bi-generate.
Yeah, I'll bi-generate. Yeah, exactly.
The writer with no book says it felt like a polished version of The Wedding of River's Song. The new reality actually got a bit of time to be explored and experienced, but this is also this also cut away time to explain it. The final exposition was too much, nauseating at points, not as bad as Timeless Child, but close.
Yes.
I'd agree with a lot of that.
Yeah, not as bad as Thomas Shaw, but close.
Because it is definitely better than The Wedding of River Song, and is doing a very similar thing to The Wedding of River Song.
It is. Yeah, no, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair enough point.
Jake Snow says, just let it end.
What, RTD2 or just the show?
That's all it says, just let it end.
Nah, well, I still want to keep going.
I'm going to have to fight you on that.
Yes.
What, just the show?
Just let everything die.
Let everything die?
Just let it.
Do you care to elaborate on that? What does that mean?
Rick Dunkel says, too much padding, nothing but exposition. I grieve for the space lost that could have been used for more conflict and adventure.
Yes.
Yes. Michaela says, a lot of
Michaela.
exposition, but I didn't mind it. The design of this episode is incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible production design, I'd say.
Yes, I agree.
And the last one here from Sophia over on Instagram. The episode had too many flashbacks and felt like a mess. A lot of people hating the flashbacks. That was a lot.
Yeah, I know it's become a bit of a meme now.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily mind it.
I do find it stupid when people on Twitter are like, Russell, get over David Tennant. And it's like, he's using them in montages of every Doctor. Of course he's going to include David Tennant in there.
Yeah. I guess, like, I think maybe as well, like, people get a bit annoyed when they were showing flashbacks from the series that we've just watched. Like, they were showing stuff about Conrad, and then they showed 73 yards.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
That's obviously not the series we just watched.
I think there was a couple of flashback shots from within the episode of Poppy. And it's that one's a bit like, we watched that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to do that. That's the one where I think
My
it's a bit
baby.
much. The rest of it,
Shows Poppy.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
We didn't talk about, they showed 73. I guess 73 yards is... by the way, I deserve my my cake, all right?
Why?
Because I said in Lucky Day that Ruby is still suffering from the PTSD of 73 yards, but she can't remember it. And that's exactly what she said in this episode. Thank you. Thank you.
But wasn't she just talking about because she doesn't remember her travels with the Doctor at all?
Nope. Nope. Don't listen
You-
to Aiden.
okay.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I was right. Aiden's wrong.
Okay, Connor. I'll allow it.
Thank you, Aiden.
That was it for Upgrade and Delete. Thank you very much for sending in your reviews. We love hearing them. I guess we do have to do this one more time next week to some extent when we
Oh yeah, because I guess people would be.
to get everyone's reviews.
Yeah. What are we talking about? The
Yeah.
fuck?
We'll be back. Yeah, I don't know whether it'll be on the Monday or not, but we'll
Yeah, let us sleep.
do. Yeah, please, for the love of Christ.
Please. I need
Let me
sleep.
sleep. Connor, it's time for mail time.
I've got mail.
Stop yelling at me, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, it's always peaking.
I need you. Mr. Smith, I need you.
I need
this
you.
is just general Q&A stuff.
General
Grievous?
General Grievous. Yeah, I love that guy.
Jeremy, Big Jazza,
Yeah.
says, let me get this straight.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good start already.
Yeah, I
isn't it?
love it. I love it already. God.
Let me get this straight. The finale needs to ... Introduce and destroy Omega, beat Miss Flood, beat the Rani, beat Comrade, have the Doctor reunite with Susan, wrap up Belinda's arc, the whole God of Wishes arc, and maybe even give the Doctor a regeneration scene. Guys, how fucking cooked are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're cooked.
They can't do it all.
Throw in maybe even like a bit of Rogue,
Yeah.
throwing in like the Poppy Space Babies stuff. Ruby, maybe even, and we'll talk about this in Thursday's pod, maybe even a Belinda exit.
Yeah.
You know, like
probably.
there's so much to do.
I don't know.
Like it is, yeah.
It could be done by some kind of miracle, but
Yeah.
I agree. I guess we're all just waiting to see.
I hope this better be like the best finale ever. If Russell like does do this well, I will eat my words.
Yeah, don't say hat again.
I'm not going to eat a
because-
hat again.
Yeah.
If you want to
So
see
you've
me
already
eat a
done
hat,
that.
watch our Boom review. I had
Yeah.
to eat a hat.
Yeah.
That was a day.
those are the good old days.
Those are the days when our bets were purely just about eating hats.
Yeah, now it's about goatees and run into there's always a twist at the end.
Yeah, it's excellent. That's Silly Goose.
Hey, it's Silly Goose, back
Says-
at it again.
Hiya, Silly Goose, back again.
Every time.
Do you think that's the last we'll see of Rogue? And do you think we're heading for a Susan reunion in the finale?
Well,
Well,
I don't know. I think maybe.
I don't think it's the last we see of Rogue. I don't-
Can they afford Jonathan Groff? You know, can they afford him?
Not if Disney pulls out. But like
No.
like I said, I kind of answered this before. I feel like if Rogue, I feel like we will see Rogue again. If we don't see him this week, we will see him again in another season. Like if we are like 50 minutes into this episode and we're not seeing Rogue, I'm gonna go Shooty's staying
Okay.
because I feel like Rogue would have rocked up unless it's literally like the last scene and Shooty's like, I'm dying, and then Rogue's like, we can die together, and then holds his hand.
So the second you see Rogue, you're like, he's dead.
Yeah, if I see Rogue again, Shooty's dead.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's goner. Heading for a Susan reunion in the finale, I think so.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's weird they're doing it in the series 2 finale. I would have assumed they would have done it in the series 1, but here we are.
I understand they're playing like the long game, but it also doesn't feel like it was weird that we did the first 5 episodes without touching about the Doctor's family or anything in season 2, and then all of a sudden it slapped you with Susan being back,
Remember this from last series?
and it's like, oh, I think if you're playing the long game over multiple seasons, I would have liked it to have been a common character thread, like have Shooty in Robot Revolution be like, yeah, I had someone watch that reminded me to go look and see my family, talking about Millie. And then Belinda will be like, did you? And he goes, no. Anyways, dun, 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 dun.
I like that.
But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like just plant
No,
that
that's
thread of
good, that's
It's
good.
still a character piece that's developing because
Yeah.
if not, it's plot. It's
Yeah.
not character-based stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Should be. It seems like they're going for a bit of a Time Lords final, you know, Gallifreyan final.
Yeah, and I do think we will see it actually because I saw on Twitter Ben Cook, who obviously works closely with Doctor Who, and very
Does
closely
the
with
edits
Russell.
for the classic Who's and
The
stuff.
colorizations
Yeah,
and
colorizations.
stuff like that. He said when obviously Tharies, friend of the show, was in the latest episode, and Ben replied to one of Tharies' tweets about it saying, did you ever think that your name would be in the credits alongside at the cinema next week alongside Omega, Susan, Mel, and like all the characters that will be in it. So I was like, I reckon he's just kind of low key confirmed that Susan's going to be in it, even though we've all assumed.
Right.
But
okay.
I feel like maybe Ben doesn't know, maybe he does.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I feel like he would know.
I think it's a fair bet to say that she'll be in it.
Yeah, I think so.
For sure.
I agree.
Hello, Doctor. Do you miss me? You abandoned me. Yeah.
You abandoned me, motherfucker.
But that's how he regenerates.
Oh my God.
Just a
Susan
shotgun.
shoots him.
Boom.
Bang. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be left behind now? Bam. Yeah, there we go.
One of these days, Doctor.
Well enough and TARDIS says, I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Assuming Belinda doesn't get much growth next episode, who takes the prize of most underdeveloped companion in Modern Who? Belinda or Ryan?
Oh, I probably. I don't know.
That's
God.
tough. Can I raise this? They gave a good point here where they say, honestly, they thought they'd never say this, but they reckon Belinda. At least Ryan had the character beats with his dyspraxia, losing his gran, and his relationship with Graham. How did we get here?
Yeah. Well, obviously Ryan did have 2 series, but yeah.
I think in terms of like character backstory, Ryan definitely has one over Belinda, and has the most fleshed out backstory. I think if you're looking at like on-screen characterization, just like the little giggles and being a fucking human being, I think Belinda has it over Ryan because Ryan just talks like this.
Doctor, what we gonna do?
He's from the north, and look, I'm from the north as well. I am, and I don't talk like that.
What about Ruby? Do you think she's in competition?
Ruby luckily had 73 yards on Lucky Day, which I think gave us some character beats.
Yeah, if
and
it wasn't for them,
I think Ruby, in terms again, would just beat Ryan over in terms of just having like a more interesting characterization. Like she's fun and bubbly and like loves a laugh. That kind of thing,
I'm Ruby.
I always think in there's a scene in Church of Ruby Road where she's talking about how she's had terrible luck and she gets in the taxi and she like can't pull the seatbelt thing and it like cuts to the goblins doing stuff in the skies and then it briefly cuts back to Ruby and stuff in the car and they're just like ha 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 and I always think it just looks like the director just turned around and said now just everyone just giggle at the same time
laugh, right?
And they're just laughing.
They're just friends laughing about life.
Yeah, which is
that was a reshoot.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
If
you didn't know,
a Coda Ghost 98. Oh, we got double a Coda here.
Okay.
Bit of a big question here, but is one I love to ask. And we've sort of answered this one before, so I want a brief answer from you, Connor. If you both were showrunners for the show, what direction would you take it? What stories would you like to tell?
I can't say
Spoilers.
because it's going to happen, and but I've been thinking about it quite a lot. That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
For when they ask me,
I'll say this. That I'm not going to go into full story things now, just because of time. I always wanted to bring Omega back. Looks like that's the story to it. But in terms of a general vibe, and people are going to be like, "Well, Doctor Who's always been camp." It has, and you want a certain amount of campness in Doctor Who. But I think the problem is some of the camp stuff is becoming big plot related stuff is being solved in really camp ways, and that I don't love. So I think I would want to write it in a way that takes yourself a bit more seriously, still have a sense of humor, still be goofy. And I think that's what Moffat did really well with the show. It's silly and goofy, sometimes a bit camp. Sometimes it's too goofy. But it never I don't think there was ever big plot stuff in the Moffat era that turned into a big silly joke. Maybe I'm sure there's some kind of someone can give me can beat me on that one. But I think I just have the show take itself a bit more seriously again, which I think season 2 has done a bit better. But now we're at the finale, and I just feel like we're backtracked.
the more I look at Matt's era, the more I like it.
I'm rewatching it at the moment.
Look back on it, yeah.
I'm up to Night Terrors, and so I just sort of sit there on the menu,
Great episode.
just waiting to press play and being I don't want to press play.
It's good. It's good. It's spooky.
Night
Watch it with
Terror.
the lights off.
I don't want to watch it
You have to.
with the lights on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oliver Foss says, "Do you think the current Doctor Who format has run its course?
Yes.
And it's time for something completely new for the show? Or if so, how would you change the show? I think there's an argument out there that it should be like a 6-part serial. Wouldn't be mad about that. Like a bit of a flux again. I think that is what would work. Why? What new format would you do?
Again, I can't really say, but what I'm going to be doing with this show is actually going to revolutionize it.
Okay.
Think. Nah, giving too much away. I can't say.
Oh my god, you're such an asshole.
Well, I actually think it's really good, Aiden. Got great ideas. Trust me.
But at the same time, I think that is a way to do like an 8-episode series, which does have a strong ongoing thread. You just got to piece it together. Like, look at series 5 did a great job at having individual stories that still had cliffhangers and gave you constantly wondering. And then every couple episodes, you might actually get a little answer. The crack might rock up and be a big plot point in a couple episodes. Carly's crack might rock up and be a be a plot point in some episodes that you don't expect.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about, for me, I think in 2025, you just want to be surprising the viewer because we're so used to being like, we'll have to wait for the finale to get to the big cliffhanger or the big reveals. But, like, I don't think it should be like that. And I know you can argue that Miss Flood came up in episode 6 and Comrade was in episode 4. And I would say this series did this better than series 1 did. But I think there is always room for growth in that way. And I think the more that you can surprise the viewer with consequences and lasting plot threads between the episodes, the stronger retention you'll have.
I would do 10 episodes per series.
Well,
under my Doctor Who.
They might have to have no fucking money behind the episodes, mate. If the BBC give you a certain budget, you're going to have to make 8.
I would talk to them about it and make it happen.
I just don't think you understand that that's how that works.
I'll tell you what, Aiden, I do, for one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You just got to talk to the BBC and be like, no, I need more money.
Second of all, yeah, well, listen, I'd be like, look, do we want history to repeat itself?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Okay, let's have that conversation. I'm Mr. BBC boss, okay? And you're
ask me a question.
You're Connor Hannum, the new showrunner.
Yeah, go on.
So you booked a meeting with me, Mr. Hannum?
Yes.
Something about wanting a bigger budget or something?
Well, you were saying 8 episodes, I want 10.
Okay. No big dramas have 10 episodes anymore. Why do you want 10?
That's fair enough, but like if we look at something like an HBO shows that are done and have a lot of a lot of fans behind it, people who really like the idea of like a bit of a longer format, you know, it gives room. Look at episodes in, you know, previous eras that, you know, can stand on their own 2 feet. Amy's Choice, for example, you probably don't even know what that is.
Is that the one with Rose?
No, it's not.
No.
So if anything, I know more than you do about this show. So give me 10.
So because you want to be like HBO.
Well, I think it could be something like HBO.
Like HBO. Yeah. Okay. Do you see that sign over there?
Yeah, it's not HBO. Yeah.
It's BBC.
Yes, I know that, but I'm just saying, fans keep saying there's not enough episodes. Okay, and we need some little not filler, but episodes that, like, you know, give us more time to breathe with these characters. The Doctor's wife, for example. You probably don't even know what that is either.
Is that the one with River Song?
No. See? You don't know. I do. So let it happen.
Mr. Hannum, I've got to say, we have no money as a studio. You're
the BBC. I think you got money.
We don't have money.
Okay.
We don't have money.
Here's the thing. You do a show that's good enough, and people will come back. The people who have dropped off, they'll hear about Doctor Who. Look at something like Andor, for example. Word of mouth moves. People who haven't watched Star Wars in years come back.
But Brexit happened, and we're a public broadcaster. We have no money.
You're publicly funded.
But no one's paying their license fee anymore.
Well,
I've got no money for you, Connor.
Okay.
You want my piggy bank? I shake it for you.
Okay, well then maybe for series 2 we can look at doing 10. But right now,
okay, we can meet again. So, but
if we can do, I reckon that the stuff that I'm saying now will happen in series 1 with the 8 episodes, and you'll hear people saying it was great, but we could have done a little bit more. Then maybe we could talk about doing it for series 2.
So you'll make 8 episodes for season 1. So you'll make 8 episodes for season 1?
I mean, I guess. I mean, when you are you gonna change your mind? I don't think you are.
Deal. 8 episodes for season 1.
Was there a way for you to change your mind?
The camera cut out. Fuck. Sorry, visual people watching the camera cut out there, but we're back now.
How long was it off for?
Probably about a minute.
Oh my God. We were just too into the sauce.
At the end of the day, Mr. Hannum, we shake hands,
All right.
and you're going to make me 8 episodes of Doctor Who. Thank you
10
very
next
much.
season.
Thank you very much for that.
No
okay,
worries.
we got to wrap things up here, so we'll quick fire through these last few questions here. Val says, still holding out hope that Missy will be in the final. As unlikely as it now seems, the thought of seeing Missy and the Rani play against each other honestly would be a dream.
Should have been what they'd done
Yeah, I'd be very keen on
instead
that
of
one.
Omega.
Very keen. Icarus says, do you think the dinosaurs are a comrade wish and what RTD thinks white hetero lads think about, like the Roman Empire and 100 men versus a bear?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Icarus who flew too close to the sun.
I do like dinosaurs, to be fair.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be funny if it was like 100 gorillas running around out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grizz. Didn't you say bears? Anyway.
I don't know.
Great name.
Poppy, Lucas says Poppy is Susan's mother. Do you think so?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey, baby.
Timey-wimey, baby. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Like,
Well, yeah,
I reckon
yeah.
it's likely.
Yeah, well, because the doctor said I haven't had kids yet.
Yeah.
In Legend of Ruby Sunday, so this could connect to
Russell set up this like really mixed up.
And
heritage thing.
I'm not against that.
I don't know.
Why, Aiden?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Is it kind of one of these situations?
Oh, the shed. The shed was our memory
Yeah.
of the TARDIS.
Poppy was my daughter all along.
It wasn't just a wish, it was real.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
The boogeyman. The
Ugh.
boogeyman was a memory of the Daleks.
I could actually see something happening.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. Folks, we'll be back on Thursday to preview the finale, the reality war. Detonate the reality war.
All right. Let's go. Oh, not this again. It's Aiden and Connor's podcast.
Sorry, folks, that was really bad.
They're doing
Doctor Who reviews. Why do I have to get
on
such a bad
Monday.
cough?
Doctor Who. I don't know. Fucking.
Midway through this season, I just got a cough and it's just killed me.
I wonder, was someone at work sick?
No,
Don't know where you got it from them.
neither. I hate it. We'll be back. See you guys.
Bye. Peace and love.